Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today, we're back with high performance coach and public speaker, David Weaver. Hey, David, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back to join us. And today, I'm excited because I want to talk all about owning first time authorship with you. So, David, many first time authors struggle with the belief that they're not necessarily real writers. This is better known as imposter syndrome. How can they reframe their thinking and own their personal identity as an author?
Yeah, this is a great one. So I love helping people with this sort of thing. So it's because it's one of those things that we're not really taught. We sometimes we stumble upon it. But like, how do we create a new identity? How do we get rid of an old one? And so there is more to this, but I'll just give kind of a simplified version. But if you just imagine, okay, if I wanted to become a runner, what does that look like? What is the journey from I don't run at all to I tell people now I'm a runner? Well, it looks like you buy running shoes, right? You buy clothes for running. You start running maybe a couple times a week, and now maybe you're running 3 times a week. Maybe then you sign up for your first 5K, and then you do that. And there's like you're starting to build some elements of your life around this identity until at some point you're like, yeah. So at some point it just becomes, oh, this is the way it is. I'm a runner, right? And so you can apply this to creating any other identity. So when you're a new author and you're feeling this imposter syndrome, it's because you haven't done it that much. You haven't like fully brought in this identity of I'm an author. So just start with thinking about that idea of, well, what does an author do? Like, what would a highly accomplished author do? How would they act? What actions would they take? How would they be thinking? And just start working to build those things in. And it might feel weird at first, and that's normal because it's new, and there's a reason why you're feeling that imposter syndrome. It's new stuff. But then over time, if you continue with consistency of taking action and doing those things, then pretty soon you'll be able to bring in this new identity, and then you'll just be out telling people, "Oh yeah, I'm an author. That's what I do."
Right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about comparison. It's a huge trap for new authors, especially with social media showcasing others' success, how many followers they have, how many interactions, how big they are with their books. Now, how can authors stay motivated without falling into the self-doubt when they compare themselves to all these other very successful authors or seemingly very successful authors?
Yeah. So there's a few elements there. And one is I would say seemingly is a great way to put it because the internet only shows like the best, or what we want people to see for the most part. And there's a great quote called that comparison is the thief of joy. And so just being intentional about not comparing yourself whenever you can is going to help. And then I'd say the biggest thing though is just staying connected to your why. Like, why are you writing? What is the reason behind why you're being an author? Is it to just share this passion? Is it to help somebody? Is it to, help people like overcome different things? Whatever it is, if you can stay connected to that as like, this is the purpose and why I'm doing this, I don't care what other people are doing out there. Because the reality is new books are coming out every day, and there's people are buying new books every day. There's more than enough to go around for everybody to share and like enjoy reading. My wife's an avid reader. She just like picked up another book on the little free library on our walk this morning, and she's been reading like crazy. So, you know, try not to get caught up in that game of and this just goes with like good mental health practices in general. Like, limit your time that you're looking at other people online and comparing them to yourself, because in reality you probably should be spending more of your time writing your book and getting feedback and making it awesome, so then people, when they do read it, they love it.
I think that's a great point to really limit your time and also put it into perspective. Now, I want to talk a little bit about personal brands. When authors are trying to build their personal brands, some of them have trouble sharing such personal experiences, especially in their books and on social media, without worrying too much about judgment. Now, what mindset shifts would you recommend an author embrace to kind of look at their vulnerability as a strength?
Yeah, this is I think it takes practice and it does take courage. And I would say, like, first off, read some of Brown's books and talking about transparency and vulnerability and leadership and all those things and how they relate. And create something that makes sense for you. And I think what you might, and it might not be telling every single detail because that feels too personal, but telling enough that people can relate to you, because that's really what people want, is to like say, oh, like I get this person. That makes sense. I've experienced that before. I feel a connection there. And so if you can have a mindset of, I'm actually just allowing for space for people to connect to who I am and the work that I'm creating, versus like, oh, this is too personal. If you can just shift that over a little bit like that, I think it will really help with being able to share some of those things.
Yeah, that's great advice. Now, what are some powerful affirmations or mental strategies that first-time authors could use to silence their inner critic and just build self-confidence?
To not give a blanket answer, I would say like write down what your limiting beliefs are. So all the work that I do with my clients, we do this. And so it's like you have to first identify, well, what are those things that I'm saying? What are the stories I'm telling that are limiting, that are squashing, constricting beliefs that I feel like I have about myself? And first identify what those are, and then start working through those things to create affirmations that matter for you. Because I could say, I mean, one of them that you could all probably apply is like, I am a great author, right? And that's something that you can try to develop and strive towards and own, and that probably works for most people. But what maybe there's some other limiting belief over here that you need to work through but somebody else might not have that at all. So I'd say like try to figure out what's going on for you, and then find somebody to help you work through that if you don't know how to work through those.
Well, David, thank you. That was wonderful insight on owning first-time authorship.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. It was great to be here.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to today's interview with high performance coach and public speaker David Weaver. Be sure to check out our website for more videos. Wishing you all a fulfilling and successful writing journey.